Hello, Vicky. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hello, Karl. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. So do you live in Russia?
Yes, I live in Russia, in Moscow, and I have apartments near the Moscow in Valensky. But now I'm in Moscow.
What do you do in Moscow?
I'm working in Moscow in a pharmaceutical company. It's a part of Abbott Group, but it's a Russian plant, Farm. And I'm a NPI manager, new product implementation manager.
Wow, new product implementation.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty fancy title. How do you enjoy that job? That is a very big title.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a little bit difficult. It takes a lot of time from me, a lot of energy. And it's a little bit stressful. Today I thought how to solve this problem, how to find energy to be a good project manager, have forces to organize my team. And I decided to try yoga. And today I already had a class with a trainer, separate class, yes, my personal class. And it was very nice that Vladimir yesterday invited me to this English class because I need to remember and update my English skills. Yes. My work now.
You need it in your work now?
Yeah.
How do you use English in your work?
I'm speaking in English with my partners, with my colleagues from Basel.
Brazil?
Basel, no, Brazil, Switzerland. Basel.
Basel, Switzerland.
Okay. You know, Abbott is an American company, but our chief office in Basel.
And do you use then English to speak with them even though they're in Switzerland?
Yes, I speak with them in English.
Do you think that is difficult?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, because there are different people in the team. Some of them are European guys, some of them Chinese, Indian, and so on. For example, France, and all of them have different accents, and there is a problem with listening.
Transitioning between them?
I don't understand them, I suppose. And I'm not sure that they understand me, because I understand that I'm speaking with a lot of mistakes, and maybe I'm not able to explain what I want to tell them.
Take care of them?
To tell them, no, not to take, yeah, to tell. To explain.
To explain what you are trying to say and communicate.
What I want to say, yes. For example, now you didn't understand me. So I think that sometimes they not understand me too. Don't understand.
It is definitely difficult when you are going back and forth from many different accents.
Yeah.
And having to change your mind.
Yes, yes.
So which accent do you find the most difficult?
For me, it's France and Indian.
I've heard most of my Asian students, yes, say that Indian English is quite difficult. to understand.
You know, I have one partner who speaks in Russian, Indian guy, yes, and sometimes I don't understand what he's speaking in Russian.
That's impressive, though,
But
that he learned Russian.
Really very good, but the accent is very strange for me and for Russian people, of course.
Yeah, it's interesting how you need to know more than just the language, but also the accent inflections.
Yeah.
But I didn't know French was a difficult accent to learn.
For me, it's difficult because have you ever heard French English?
Probably, but not that I can remember.
I suppose you have to try.
I will have to visit France someday.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult because the accent is very different from. You know, there is no problem to listen to people, for example, from Poland or Croatia or Western Europe, but French is difficult. For me, I suppose French guys understand each other very good. Maybe for them, our English is not so easy.
Yeah. And of course, the Poland and Croatian accent are going to be much more similar to a Russian accent speaking English.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, where are you from? You are American, right? Yeah. But I understand you very good. No problem with the accent.
I work very hard to keep any accent I have very neutral.
Nice.
I've had lots of practice over the last 3 years as I have been living in Malaysia. And people here have trouble.
What did you do in Malaysia?
I originally came here to volunteer at a church and help them with music.
With music? Like DJ?
No, like a choir director.
Choir? What is it? Choir director?
Like you would find in a church, a group of people singing together. La, 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 la.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then while I was here, I decided I fell in love with the place and wanted to stay here.
And why you decided to return back to United States?
Decided to not return.
You are in Malaysia now? Interesting.
Yes, so over here it is actually the evening time. So it's quite interesting how all the time zones work together.
Yes.
I'm sure you have to deal with those time zone differences in your work as well.
Yes.
Do you find that difficult to remember what time zone everyone is in?
I suppose I didn't understand what you want to ask me.
So everyone you talk to from India, from Basel, are in different time zones. Do you sometimes forget which time zone you need to be in?
Which times I need to be where?
Or which time zone the person you are talking to is in?
I don't think about it because I have a calendar in Outlook, and then we organize a meeting. I see my my time, and if the person confirm the meeting in Outlook, I understand that he can to meet with me, but I don't think about a time in another country. And I can think just about my comfort. Comfortable time, I will confirm a meeting.
Yeah.
Or conference call or something like this.
Something like this, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's much easier that way, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So how long have you been working at your current company?
I started in this April, this year.
Oh, wow.
In April, yes. Before that, I worked in a Russian pharmaceutical company during 5 years.
So you like the pharmaceutical business?
Yeah, I'm working in pharmaceutical business.
What do you like about the pharmaceutical business?
You know, I'm working in pharmaceutical business during last 12 years, yes.
Wow.
Yes, I have
That's a long time.
a big experience, and sometimes I think I am thinking to change something, but it's really not so easy. Because I have already a good experience, I suppose a good income, salary, yeah. And to be able to change something, I should to start from 0 point, yes, and I will not have the same income and so on. So I just try to change it company, but I don't think that I'm happy. But I have a lot of challenges in this job.
A lot of challenges in your new job?
Yes, a lot. Because I go to this company 3 years ago, and would like to distribute all their policies to Russian company, and you know, Russian people not the same like Switzerland or United States people, yes. And
in what way are they different?
Different mentality, and it's really difficult to involve and to apply all about politics in their farm when I'm working now. And so I'm leading one of the leader of class A. Do you know what does it mean, class A?
No.
No, it's if you have a big business, for example, like Abbott company with chief office in one country and with a lot of affiliates around the world, you need to find the way how to manage all these companies and to receive right data from financial data and other data from all these companies to be able to take a decision and to receive this data very quickly. So you should to build something very clear, yes, and all companies should to work according to one system using one tool to be able to quickly understand information from one source.
And that kind of coordination is very difficult.
Yes, it's really very difficult. And my task now to organize NPI process in Verify.
To organize NPI process?
NPI process, yes, in Verify, according class A. And I should to find the right person to distribute all those. And sometimes I understand people don't want to do some activities, and I'm not able to find who will do this, who will do the task, and nobody wants to work with a class A.
Nobody does.
It's very clear, and everybody will understand that they don't want to work. That's on money.
Yeah, of course they don't want to, because that's much harder, right? So that's one reason why they don't want to. I am not surprised then by all of that. Are you still there, Vicky? I'm sorry, I don't hear you right now. Are you able to hear me? I'm sorry. Are you able to hear me at all? No, it seems like we've lost you. Sorry about that. Well, hopefully you'll be able to make it back soon. Well, I don't know, Vicky, if you'll be able to make it back soon. But while we're waiting, I'm going to go through and do some corrections, okay? And you can always check these corrections again later, and anybody else is watching can see how we do some corrections here. So now you can see we're starting back at the beginning, and I'll just read through the whole thing and make corrections as I go. So hello, Karl. Nice to meet you too. Yes, I live in Russia, in Moscow, and I have an apartment, but now I am in Moscow. I am working in Moscow in a pharmaceutical company. It's part of a group, and I am new product implementation manager. What? Yeah, I think so too. It's a little bit difficult time. It's a little bit difficult. Probably better to say I'm having a little bit difficult time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it's a little bit stressful. Today I thought how to solve this problem, how to find energy to be a product manager and have a focus, probably have focus and organize my team. And I decided to try yoga with a trainer. Yes, my personal class. It was very nice. Vladimir yesterday invited me to this English class because I need to remember and update my English skills, yes. So I need it in my work now. I am speaking in English with my partners, with my colleagues from Basel, Switzerland. It's an American company, but our chief office is in Basel. Yes, I speak with them in English. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, because there are different people in the team. Some of them are Chinese, Indian, and so on. For example, France. And all of them have different accents. And there is a problem with transitioning between them all. That's probably what you were implying there. Sometimes I don't understand them, I suppose. and I am not sure they understand me. And I understand I am speaking with a lot of mistakes, as we're seeing here. Where are we? Nobody wants to do Class A companies, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine. Those sounded very complicated. And so how do you like living in Moscow? Have you lived there your whole life?
Oh, you know, have you ever been in Moscow?
Only the airport.
Only in the airport. I suppose you should to meet it. Meet Moscow, because really very beautiful city now. I really like Moscow. I understand it. Today, when I was in yoga, you know, I live in the center of Moscow, but I am using metro every day, and sometimes I don't understand that Moscow is so beautiful. But when we're walking, for example, like today, and you are relaxed and just walking, not running to walk or something like this. You are looking around and understand that it's really beautiful. And especially today is a city day. Today and tomorrow is a city day in Moscow, and a lot of interesting events. And there will be a fire show in the evening, and a lot of music masterclass around. And Moscow is really, especially in the center of is very clean. And all buildings repaired. How to say? Yes. They're not. They're enough old. Of course, it's not a Europe. It's not Moscow is not so old like the buildings in Moscow is not so old like in Europe, but really interesting architecture too, and all of them are brush and look clean. You know, not gray like, for example, buildings in Basel.
Have you been to Basel before on business trips?
Yeah, I was in Basel this August, in the end of July, start of August.
Start to what? I'm sorry?
August, start of
August. Yeah. Well, that's great. How did you enjoy that trip?
I'm very tired.
I can imagine.
I came to Basel very tired, and I came in Sunday, and I thought that I have a half day to walk in Basel, in the center of Basel, to see different buildings. But when I came to my hotel, I understood that I need 1 hour to sleep, and I took a shower and went to the bed.
As soon as you got there, you went to bed.
I understood in the evening that I slept not 1 hour. I was asleep not 1 hour, around a half day. But yes, I stayed in Basel during 4 days.
4 days?
Yes, yes, and you know, it was like a city day or maybe a country day in Basel in August 1. And there was very interesting Switzerland music. Very interesting. It's nice to see your photos like that.
Yeah, I get to understand and interact with a little bit of the culture there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't I didn't visit museums because in the evening after my work they already was closed, and on Sunday I slept. I didn't. Yes, I was so just a moment.
I don't blame you for wanting to catch up on sleep, especially because it was a working trip to Basel. Definitely not a vacation.
Invitation?
Not a vacation.
It's not a vacation. Yes, it was a business trip. Yes, and for me it was stressful because I suppose I am very responsibility person, and sometimes that I understand that I should to organize something, but I see a big problem. I don't know how to solve it. I'm starting to stress, and this case take all my energy, and I already cannot do something. And in Basel, I had some trainings how to organize class A for entire process.
You had some training?
Yeah. And when I understood that everything is not according to class A in my company, and I have just 3 months to organize it, because if not, we will not receive a certificate. But it's my own personal CPA.
My own personal CPA?
KPI.
KPI, yes.
KPI.
A lot of my business students talk about their KPIs.
Yeah.
That's very important, measuring how successful you're doing.
You see?
I see that. Is that from Switzerland?
Yes. This photo from Switzerland. Very interesting musical instrument.
Is that a vuvuzela?
It was in Basel, yes, near the Rhine, on the bridge.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Very picturesque, what one would expect.
It was nice, yes, and you know, they have one tradition. Then hot. They're swimming after job. They put all their clothes to the special bag, and swimming in the rain.
In the rain, in the river?
Yes, with this bag. And a lot of people are swimming. It's really very interesting. And you know, I don't know how it's in New York, but for Russian it's very interesting that not a lot of car in the city, but a lot of bicycle passing like this. See?
Wow! Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah.
I've heard that having a bike sharing system is becoming much more common within cities. Yes, I've just never seen it before.
Yeah, you can walk and don't worry that any car will how to say it?
Knock you over?
Down you or something like this, because not a lot of car around, a lot of bicycles and buses and trams and so.
It reminds me of my visit to Oxford, England earlier this year, where they do the same thing. Within the grounds of Oxford, no cars are allowed. So it's basically only foot traffic, a couple buses, and of course bikes.
It's interesting, yes.
Yeah, much different than anything I've seen before.
Now, you know, now a lot of bicycles in Moscow too, but it's not like in Basel. It's a little bit dangerous with the bicycle in Moscow because a lot of cars around, no special roads for bicycles, people, cars, and you should maneuver between. It's not easy.
And the weather. And the weather is often not very kind for bicyclists.
In summer, good weather. But of course, just 3 months, maybe 4 or 5 months is in Russia for bicycles.
Here in Malaysia, we have summer basically all year round.
Oh, nice country. What I can.
It sounds nice, and then you get here, and then you realize, oh, I do like it when it's changing.
Malaysia, it's near Singapore, yeah?
Right next to it.
Do you like Singapore?
I do. I've been there a couple times, and it's a beautiful city. Very clean.
I think so, yeah. I saw some movies and pictures. Yes. I want to visit Singapore.
Have you ever visited Southeast Asia?
What visit?
Southeast Asia?
South of Asia. I've been just in Thailand.
It sounds like Thailand is a pretty popular vacation.
Yes, for vacation I was in Phuket.
Yeah, Phuket.
Yeah. It was last year. Really, I don't like Asia. It's interesting because it's a different culture, but it's not mine. I suppose different smell, different people, big traffic, everything, car and people, and very strange. Do you have in Malaysia the same cafe that is riding like a bicycle, and some people are cooking in this I don't know how it's like
a little cart?
Yes.
Like a stall, and then they just hitch it onto the bike and then take it back home at night?
Yeah, and they're cooking something and you can buy it. It's really everything is dirty. I don't know. I don't know how they're eating. But it's a culture. It's interesting to see.
And many millions of people live that way, and they survive and thrive on that.
A lot of people, yes, a lot. And we lived in the very interesting hotel. It was really cheap. We decided that we will not stay in the hotel for a long time, and we thought that we will spend the time in the beach or in the traveling around the Phuket in the different I forgot. Lands, different lands, small lands like figs, you know. Yes, and we booked a very cheap hotel. But room was very nice, but it was my first time when you go to the balcony, you see a gray wall of other building.
Yeah. A little bit different than what you're used to.
Yeah, I suppose. You can see it just in Asia.
Much different.
Yes, much different.
Well, very nice, Vicky. This has been a wonderful discussion, even with our little interruption that we had earlier. I do think at this point, we probably should switch over to some corrections.
Okay, it would be
So
nice.
I'm working on just a few edits here to our conversation. So I'll have it ready here in a couple minutes. And you might have already seen, I already went through the first 5 or 6 paragraphs or so and have made some edits there. And then we can pick it up from there. So as you can see, yes, we are adding in your conversation here.
Very long conversation, I think.
Let's see how many words.
You are typing very fast.
You definitely tested my skills today. Let's put it that way. So today we've got 1,816 words. Definitely not my record. I've done 4,000 words in one lesson before. So I'll start it just back from the beginning then, number 1, and I'll read through it here. Hello, Karl. Nice to meet you too. Yes, I live in Russia, in Moscow, and I have an apartment, but now I am in Moscow. I'm working in Moscow in a pharmaceutical company, part of a group, and I am new product implementation manager. Yeah, well, yeah, I think so too. I think it's a better phrase, I'm having a little bit difficult time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it's a little bit stressful. Today, I thought how to solve this problem, how to find energy to be a product manager and have focus and organize my team. And I decided to try yoga with the trainer. Yes, my personal class. It was very nice. Vladimir yesterday invited me to this English class because I need to remember and update my English skills. Yes. So I need it in my work now. I'm speaking in English with my partners, my colleagues from Basel, Switzerland. It's an American company, but our chief office is in Basel. Yes, I speak with them in English. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, because there are different people on the team. Some of them are Chinese, Indian, and so on, for example, France. And all of them have different accents, and there is a problem with transitioning between them all. Sometimes I don't understand them, I suppose, and I am not sure they understand me. And I understand I am speaking with a lot of mistakes. And I want to take care of them. Took care? I think take care is correct. Took care is past tense, right? To explain what I want to say. For example, now you didn't understand me. Sometimes I make a couple typing errors. I think they sometimes do not understand me too. Yes. For me, it's the France and Indian. Now, Indian, we probably want to say French instead of France. Russian versus Russia. You know, I have one partner who speaks in Russian, Indian guy, yes. And sometimes I don't know what he is speaking in Russian. But his Russian is very good, but the accent is very strange for him. For Russian people, of course. Yeah, much different. For me, it's difficult because have you ever heard French English? I suppose you have to try. For example, it's really difficult because the accent is very different from, there's no problem to listen to people, for example, from Poland, from Croatia, from Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
So that would make more sense in this context. But France is different. For me, I suppose French guys understand each other very good. Maybe more difficult to understand me. Yeah, I think so. Where are you from? You are an American guy, but I understand you technically very well. No problem with your accent. Ah, it's nice. What did you do with music? Like DJs? A choir? Choir director. And why didn't you decide to return to the United States? You are in Malaysia now? Ah, interesting. Yes, I suppose I didn't understand what you want to ask me. Which time I need to be where? I don't think about it because I have a calendar and Outlook. And they organize the meeting and I see my time and I understand that he can meet with me. And I don't think about the time in the other country. I think I can just think about my comfort. If it is a comfortable time, I schedule the meeting, something like this. I started in this April. Yeah, in April, yes. Before that, I worked in a Russian pharmaceutical company. 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I'm working in the pharmaceutical business. You know, I'm working in the pharmaceutical business. You could say during in this context, during the last 12 years, yes. It would make more sense to then say I have been working. Yes. I have big experiences. Sometimes I'm thinking to change something. It's really not so easy because I have very good experience. I suppose a good income, salary, and be able to change something. Maybe if I want to change something, I should start from 0. I don't think you need point here. If I want to change something, and maybe I would have to start from 0 would work better, like that, and not the same salary and so on. So I just try to change companies, but I don't think I'm happy. But I have a lot of challenges. Yes, a lot. Because I was able to go to this company 3 years ago. I was able to go. I would like to distribute all their policies to Russian companies. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you said. That's what came out to me. And you know, Russian people are not the same like Switzerland or United States people, yes? Different mentality. And it's really difficult to involve and apply all politics, all policies. Policies would definitely make more sense to me, yeah. In the pharma I am working now, so I am one of the leaders of Class A. You know what it means, Class A? If you have a big business, for example, with a big office in one country and a lot of affiliates around the world, you need to find the way how to manage all these companies, how to gather the right data from financial data and other data from all these companies to be able to, I wouldn't say take a decision, I would say make a decision. It's a better phrase. And view this data very quickly. So you should build, you don't need 2 there, something very clear, yes? And all companies should work according to one system, using one tool to be able to quickly send information from one source. Yes, it's really very difficult. My task is to organize MPI process in pharma according to a class. And I should find the right person to distribute all those. And I understand that people don't want to do some activities. And I'm not able to find who will do this and who will do another task. Nobody wants to do class A. And everyone will understand that they don't want to. Oh, you know, have you ever been in Moscow? Only in the airport. I suppose you should meet it. Meet Moscow because it really is a very beautiful city. I really don't or do?
And do. I like.
Okay.
Like Moscow.
I couldn't tell which one. It makes more sense in context. You really like Moscow.
Yeah, I like. Like, not in, just I really like Moscow. Yeah.
Today, when I was there, you know, I'm living in the center of Moscow, and I'm using the metro every day, but I didn't understand that Moscow is so beautiful. But when I want to, for example, like when you are relaxed, not work, something like this, you look around and understand it's really a beautiful city. Today and tomorrow is a city day in Moscow and a lot of events. There will be a fireworks show in the evening.
Salute.
Oh, okay. Guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fire show might actually be the best term then. and a lot of music masterclass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Masterclass and concerts and music, classic music near the church.
That's great.
Yeah, a lot.
Moscow is really, especially in the center, is very clean, and all buildings are repaired. It's a good phrase. Cleaned, look shiny, brand new, look like new. They are not old. Of course, it's not Europe. Moscow is not old. The buildings in Moscow do not look old like in Europe, but it is historical. Moscow is a rather old city. And all of them brushed and probably are brushed and look clean, you know. Not gray, for example, buildings in Basel. Yes, I was in Basel in this August, in the from the end of July to the start of August. I am very tired. I came to Basel very tired. I came in Sunday, and I was told I have a half day to walk in Basel, in the center of Basel, to see the cities and buildings. But when I came to my house, I thought I needed only 1 hour to sleep, and I took a shower and went to bed, pastimes. And I understood in the evening I was sleeping, and I understood when I woke up in the evening, I was sleeping for around a half day. That's not the right place to put that. But yes, I stayed in Basel for 4 days. And, you know, it was like a city day or a country day in Basel on. Days are always on August 1st. And, you know, it was very interesting Switzerland music. And very interesting and nice to see. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't visit museums because in the evening after work, they were already closed. And Sunday, I slept. Yeah, I was so exhausted. Vacation. It's not a vacation. It was a business trip. And for me, it was stressful because I am a very responsible person. That's the form you want here. But sometimes I understand I should organize something, but I see a big problem. I don't know how to solve. I'm starting to get stressed, and you need to do some yoga. And it takes all my energy. And I had some training. Yeah. And when I understood everything is not according to Class A in my company, and I have just 3 months to organize it because I will receive it, but it's my own personal KPI. You see? Yes, from Switzerland. Very interesting musical instrument. It was in Basel, yes, near the Rhine. One of the bridges. Yes, it was nice. And, you know, they have one tradition. After working, right? They put all their clothes in a special bag and go swimming in the rain. That is unusual, with his bag. And a lot of people are swimming. It's really very interesting. And, you know, I don't know how it's in New York, but for Russians, it's very interesting because not a lot of cars in the city, but a lot of bicycle parks like this. Very interesting. Yeah, you can walk, and I didn't worry that any cars will knock you down, would be a good phrase. So, because not a lot of cars were around, and lots of bicycles, and trams. So, now, you know, a lot of bicycles in Moscow, but it's not like in Basel. And it's really a little bit dangerous to use the bicycle in Moscow. A lot of cars around, no special road for the bicycles, people and car and wind, and it's not easy, and no buses. In summer, good weather, of course, just 3 months, 4 or 5 months for bicycles. Nice country. Malaysia is near Singapore, yeah? Do you like Singapore? I think so. I saw some movies, pictures. I want to visit Singapore once. That would be a good idea. What visit? I've been just in Thailand for vacation. I was okay, but it was last year. Really, I don't like East City. It's interesting because it's different culture. So it's different smells, different people, big traffic, everything, car, people, and very strange. Do you have in Malaysia the same cafe that is on the road, like a bicycle, and some people are cooking in this stall is the term I would use. Yes, and they're cooking something and you can buy it. Everything is dirty. I don't know how they are eating, but it's a culture. It's interesting to see. A lot of people. It was really cheap, and we decided we will not stay in the hotel for a long time, and we thought we will spend time in the beach or in traveling around Phuket in different areas would be a better term than lands. And we booked a very cheap hotel, but it was very nice. But it was my first time when you go to the balcony, you see the gray wall of the other building. You can see just in Asia, and only there. Fantastic, Vicky. Look at that. We made it to the end.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.